She's so fine. Hell of her blows my mind. Hell of her lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Tuesday, May the 18th, 2021. I wanted to do another video regarding the Mikayla Miller case coming out of Hopkinton, Massachusetts. Monica Cannon Grant, who has been the spokesperson for the family of Mikayla Miller, was on Java with Jimmy this morning, and she made a couple of pretty big announcements, so it's going to be a busy week in the fight for justice for Mikayla Miller. So I want to say this just before I play this. You really don't realize how much Monica Cannon Grant has affected me and the way that I would like to proceed in my life. So I am eternally grateful for her. I had never heard of her previous to this case. So she's really like my mentor from afar. And I love everything that she does. It touches me deeply. And I'm going to leave it at that because I could go on and on about how it truly has affected me. But it's really made me want to take a different turn in my life. And I'll leave it at that. But regardless, I've always been an advocate for racial issues and will continue to do so. And hopefully I can take this to the next level because that's kind of where my heart is leading me. But regardless, I'm going to go ahead and play this video. It's from the Java with Jimmy from this morning. But she makes some pretty huge announcements for the week and what's to come and what to expect. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the video.
We have a guest this morning in the person of Monica Cannon. I have not been on for a few days. We won't check right in the Java Cafe as quick because we want to definitely jump into the subject. We have a lot to talk about. If those of you who are not familiar with Monica Cannon, will just have you, Monica, say good morning, give a little bit about yourself. But I think this is your first time as my solo guest.
One time you called me and had me talk over the phone and didn't tell me I was live, but
Hi, Monica. This is
Jimmy.
So for those of you that don't know, Monica is my sister, friend. We have worked together, advocated.
So no, tell the public how we had to check who blocked who to do this damn show. Did you block me? Wait. You blocked me. I didn't block you this time. So can you unblock me so we can share? Listen.
I did. Wait a minute. I thought.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
No, but wait. So, hi, Monica. Welcome to it's Testimony Tuesdays. So we want to invite you to come in and testify. You can give your testimony, give an honor to God, the pastor, saints, and friends. Thank God for being here this morning. He started us on our way, placed us in our right mind, put food on our table, clothes on our back, and we're saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, that of a mighty burning fire, baptized in Jesus' name, on our way to heaven and enjoying the trip. Put your hands together and tell God, thank you. Let me stop, Jesus.
Listen, saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, fire, baptized, all the things.
All the things. Introduce yourself. Say good morning to those that know you. Introduce yourself to others. Tell us a little bit about who you are, because some folks may not know, and I think it's important for folks to know your background to understand why we're here and what we're going to talk about today on a sort of regional level and also, unfortunately, local level, as I'm observing some things as well. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Monica Cannon Grant, mama 5, born and raised in the city of Boston. Been here my whole life. I'll give you my little 2-minute stomp. 2016, ran for state representative, lost my election by 90 votes. 2017, organized 45,000 people to march against racism in response to Charlottesville. November 2017, became a nonprofit. 2018, more activism, more protesting, counter-protest to straight pride. 2019, the same. 2020, though, was my year, well, by the grace of God. June 1st, aided in 2 pieces of legislation being passed, the Eric Gardner chokehold bill, the Andrew Curse Act that is now being brought back to the floor by Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley and Senator Warren. June 2nd, organized 55,000 people in response to George Floyd, but also Terrence Coleman, Burrell Ramsey, and those who have been killed by police locally. one of the only peaceful protests in the city of Boston at that time. June 3rd, my organization went from a $40,000 a year organization to $1 million organization, and more money, more problems. Was that good?
That was pretty good, Monica. You're doing well. You're doing well. You done got the bullets and put it all together and got not a resume. What do you call it?
I got a CV now. I don't move up.
Yes, I was just CV. Is it? What is it called? CV.
Curriculum vitae.
Yes, that is it. That is it. Not resume. And so, with all of that, Monica, we're here today. One of the reasons I reached out to you, and shout out to Darrell Jones. He had mentioned, and I seen online, but he had mentioned that there was a lot of work going on. I saw you were leading it. He's doing some as well. And the latest thing that you unfortunately have to move and get mobilization and educate folks and support another family is around Mikayla Miller and what happened. And I, for whatever reason, you'll laugh at this, Hopkinton, how do you say it? What's the name of the town?
Hopkinton.
I can't, Monica. Rachel got on here one day and had to phonetically spell it out for me. I don't know why I can't pronounce that word, but
Shout out to Rachel.
I couldn't get it out, but it is sad to say that still today, and you're a big advocate for protect all Black women, protect Black women, and whatever, folks' stances are around trans women or whatever. This is a young woman who was killed, and my understanding is in a form of lynching style.
I'll get into the details. Also, it's so funny, the comment, somebody was like, James Hills blocked her. So let's be clear. We took turns blocking each other. I blocked him first. Then he blocked me back. And this time we wasn't sure who blocked who, but the love still remained. We block each other when we can't tolerate each other. Let's be clear about that. I just want to throw that out there for the listeners because, people like to take stuff and run with it. Tell the truth, shame the devil. But anyways, yes, been advocating for and assisting with Mikayla Miller's family. I was brought into the equation by former city councilor Tito Jackson, who received a call from a mutual friend of both Mikayla's mother and him, stating that she needed assistance with advocating for what was happening, because everything inside of her let her know that this wasn't what they were saying. It was based on her conversations with the officer that was involved, and based on her conversations with another officer that was involved, and just the way it was brought to her. I was brought into the equation. The first Zoom call I ever had was with Mikayla's mother. And she walked us through everything. And I'm going to be honest, Jimmy, I cried. She was crying. I was crying. It was the day before her daughter's funeral when we were brought together on a Zoom to discuss what was going on. And I've never experienced anything like that in all the days of my life. But as she described what happened, you begin to realize slowly that this is not what they said it was, And so, advocacy, pushing through. I also want to be clear, nothing that I've done has been without the direction and allowance of this mom. So like us having the visual and rally, this is what this mom has wanted. Us protesting this Friday, this is what this family has requested. That is the only person I answer to. And so we can dig deep into the case if you have questions and things like that, but it's been interesting.
It has been interesting. And you can go ahead and go into some of the details if you would like, because I want to bring the flyer up so people have the information and not divulging anything that as you're in contact with the family. So I'm sure you have some level of, where you're comfortable sharing, but where with what you're comfortable in the family, where are things like, what are the key bullets, Monica, that would, just in general, I think people would be touched, mobilized by someone being killed in this manner, but what are some of the things that, just in case they're not, just hearing maybe some details of what you have found out within what you're comfortable sharing per the family? And
yeah, so one of the first things is that Mikayla on April 17th was jumped. She was jumped at the clubhouse where she hung out at. The clubhouse is in the apartment complex, so it wasn't like an off-site situation. She was in her development, went to go hang out at the clubhouse, had made a phone call to her ex-girlfriend's mom stating, hey, I still have some of, I won't say the young person's name because they're a minor, still have this person's stuff. Can you come and get it? The mom, instead of coming to get the stuff, told the young person, who then orchestrated 4 other people to go to the clubhouse where they jumped Mikayla. They jumped Mikayla, and then they sat outside of the clubhouse for about 20 minutes, taunting her, not allowing her to leave, and harassing her. They finally got in the car and left. Mikayla went home, told her mother what happened. Her mother calls the police, files the report. Mikayla has a busted lip with blood showing, a black eye, a swollen lip, all those things. Mikayla then leaves the house. We're guessing around 9:30, 9:45. That's what time her mom went to bed. And the way that the house structure is Mikayla's mother's room and bathroom is at one end of the house, and Mikayla's room and bathroom is at the other end of the house. So it's very easy for her to be able to leave and the mom not know. And I think I need to say that out loud for people who are wondering, how does your child go outside? This is a 16-year-old. So she left the house with her laptop and her phone, a phone that wasn't active but that she could use by Wi-Fi, went to the clubhouse, and that was the last time anybody seen her. The next morning, they contacted Mikayla's mother and said that she had hung herself in the woods. Now, the issue with hanging yourself is you have to actually be hanging. Not to get into too much detail, but the condition in which Mikayla was found is she was on her feet. She had on all white sneakers. The police stated she was 50 feet into the woods. She was actually 100 feet into the woods. She was standing with an all-black sweatsuit on and a baseball cap placed perfectly on her head with a belt tied around her neck that was then tied to the tree in multiple knots. She was not hanging. This tree was between 3 to 8 inches in diameter, and it did not support her weight for her to hang. Mikayla was 5'5", but about 180 pounds. From day one, there was no log of the jumping, no log of the mother calling the police, no log of them finding her body. We have copies of the reports, no log of any of that information. This district attorney did not contact Mikayla's mother for 12 days. And it wasn't until she received the call from our Suffolk County district attorney telling her she had to talk to this family that she then had a conversation with her. She then went on a press tour, went to the selectmen board and had a meeting with them where she divulged information that she hadn't even discussed with this family. The amount of torment and threats that have transpired in this case from this district attorney's office. She even leaked Mikayla's mother's criminal case to the Boston Herald. This is a case from March of 2020, and I want to make that clear to people, where Mikayla and her mother got into an altercation. A report was filed. They told her they were going to dismiss the case, but because of COVID, they had yet to dismiss the case. When we rallied and vigiled in Hopkinton, the next day, Mikayla's mother went to court, and they stated to her, we're keeping it open until July because you rallied in Hopkinton. It was very retaliatory. And then the DA announced that she wasn't releasing the autopsy until July. So they're actually keeping the report open until the time that they release the autopsy report. This DA has been in full-fledged retaliatory mode. The way she has spoken to this family is so disrespectful and degrading. Her lack of communication, down to us having to, so she had Calvina, which is Mikayla's mother, had a family representative she was working with and trying to figure out if she was going to have that person represent her. That person was then compromised by this district attorney's office. And then we had to seek out legal representation through multiple phone calls, and I left voicemail messages. I received a call back, an amazing call back. She now has adequate legal representation. And I'm really confident in the person who is in the team of people who are representing her now, where we can move forward and get real answers. Violence in Boston did pay for an independent autopsy. The independent autopsy came back. The reason for my silence is because of the legal representation she has now obtained. I will say that by Thursday, you will know who that legal representation is and why I was silent. None of this is bad news or anything against the family. It's just there's legalities to this. Also, just because I paid for the independent autopsy, I cannot disclose it. Only her mom or her legal representation can do that. That's right. So I have to be quiet during this process. And I'll stop there.
Monica, so much to unpack there around the fact of systemic, racism. I think Asia put up a comment, kids will be kids defense when it's non-people of color as the, aggressors. And it's just sad that the blatant, disrespect and lack of respect for life and humanity in this grieving mother that is left here.
Right. The other piece is I, along with DA Marian Ryan, who's the district attorney in this case, went on Jim Browdy, did an interview where both Jim and I had the same question. She admitted to this being criminal. She admitted to a crime being committed, but no one has been arrested. We know that if this was 5 Black children and a white child that was attacked and then ultimately ended up dead, this will be different circumstances. And the lack of investigation that has happened in regards to them interviewing the lady who owned the property where Mikayla's body was found, the intimidating residents and witnesses for them to change their stories, the amount of racism that has transpired in this city of Hopkinton is disgusting. But I will say this. It goes in conjunction with the amount of support that this family has received as well, right? And so there are a lot of residents from Hopkinton who have been flooding my inbox with information and just saying, here, this is what we're hearing. This is what we know. This is what's happening. And I guess one of the biggest frustrations is just the disrespect and disregard from the young lady's family who was Mikayla's ex-girlfriend. They went on a white supremacist outlet and slandered the mom and the daughter. And then this young lady put up a GoFundMe for legal fees. Well, Jimmy, I'm not the brightest light bulb in the box, but why would you need legal fees if you didn't do anything?
So that would make one, the first thing to believe is that they think the investigation is going to wind up pointing to the ex-girlfriend.
Well, that's who orchestrated the jumping. So right. It starts with her.
The details of this are very gory and hurtful, Monica, to the point where I don't want to go down that road, but we can stay on that road because you're putting demand march of action, the Middlesex County District Attorney Office, justice for Mikayla Miller. And this is taking place in Lowell on this Friday at 3 p.m. And you guys are meeting up at 151 Warren Street in Lowell. So tell us, why are you going to Lowell? Is this where the District Attorney's office is located? Tell us about this march coming up.
Yeah, so this is where the district attorney's office is located. I need people to understand that there's a timeline of things that are going to transpire. So tomorrow, you will find out who her legal representation is at around 1:30. Thursday, she will be on Black Lives Matter Global Instagram Live, telling her story, Mikayla's mom. And then Friday, we will be mobilizing. Now, Friday is not a Monica Cannon organized event solely. I am working with the regional director of the Black Panther Party, who is the regional director of Massachusetts as well as Atlanta, and in conjunction with multiple different organizations and people who have come together, the Freedom Fighters Coalition, and so many accomplices in this work are coming together to show our support in numbers for Mikayla and her family.
And so how do people contact you for more information?
violenceinboston@gmail.com, or you can visit violenceinboston.com through the website and leave a message.
gmail.com. Now, Monica, this is sort of regional. You and I have done a lot of work together on a local level, and though these are definitely tied together around issues of systemic racism and what this district attorney is doing, we have some issues right here in Boston as it pertains to violence, and though not as involved, the work that you're doing. And we want to make sure that folks stay reminded that this Friday, May 21st at 3 p.m., no justice, no peace, demand march of action to Middlesex County District Attorney, justice for Mikayla Miller. We're meeting up at 151 Warren Street in Lowell, and that is the Gateway Center too. So to get more information about this, you can email violenceinboston@gmail.com, and Monica and her team will get back in touch with you. But Monica, I really appreciate you coming on, because one thing folks can say whatever about you, you're consistent. Yeah. And a consistent voice in this community, and has been Even
Well, not even just consistent, Jimmy. As much as they like to say whatever they say, they'll never mention that they come to me for help. They'll never mention the behind the scenes conversations of requesting my presence, requesting my help, and requesting my assistance. And that's fine. I'm okay with it. I just wish that in the purpose of dragging me, you go, but she doing her thing though. Because at the end of the day, the same work I'm doing now is the same work I was doing out of my kitchen with an EBT card and an unemployment check. And that is taking care of my people. I don't have to like you to help you. We don't even have to talk. You can be referred by somebody else. But if it's about helping people, I'm going to do it. And that's the difference between me and most activists who show up and have a lot of good words, but don't have no resources. They make a bunch of promises and don't follow through. And the funniest thing in the world is most of the people that get on social media and go, well, what? You're out here advocating for Hopkinton. What are you doing for Roxbury? My answer to that is Violence in Boston Social Impact Center is located at 96 Business Street in Hyde Park. Please come by and see the work that we're doing. We pick and choose the Black women who we protect, right? In this community, and we watch it time and time again. We watch Monica Cannon be attacked and everybody high fives and think it's a great thing. And we go, well, her mouth caused it, or she swore, and they come up with all the reasons that my life does not need to be protected. But then we watch a respectable Black woman who wears cardigans and pencil skirts get attacked. And then all the men want to stand around her at the press conference. You can't pick and choose the Black lives that matter. Mikayla identified it in 3 boxes. She was Black, she was a young Black woman, and she identified as LGBTQIA. So my thing is did her life not matter? Are we now separating how she identified from the fact that she's still somebody's Black child? We cannot pick and choose the Black lives that we protect, because guess what? Today it's Monica, tomorrow it's you. Black woman, Black man, Black child, Black LGBTQI, however you identify. Today it's Monica, tomorrow it's you. We can't go, oh, it was cool to disrespect Monica, but let's all rally around this one that we deem presentable, or she's light-skinned enough, or she's respectable enough for us to deem her worthy of being protected. So what I need us to do is figure out that format, and that's an internal conversation. That's a kitchen table conversation. That's not for everybody. There's no clear folks allowed in that conversation. But we cannot pick and choose the Black lives we stand up for. I catch heat because no, I'm not going to pick and choose. If you Black, I'm all for protecting you and standing up with you. Period. Point blank. Black dogs, Black cats, Black children, I don't care. I'm not picking and choosing, because when they kill one of us, they kill all of us. And if you're not doing this work from a place of understanding that, then we're not doing the same work.
There was something in here I saw, because you talked about here it goes. Pastor Marian said it. The hypocrisy must end amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
Is really it right here. And then Sheena's saying that she didn't even, I appreciate the work in Hopkinton. I hadn't even heard about Mikayla's murder before. So, and here's Pastor Marian applauding as well. Monica, I know your time. Oh God, we 54 minutes. I know you have other things to get ready to do. I appreciate you coming in, and we definitely want to have you back. Keep us updated. The platform is available when you need to raise issues and whatnot. You know how we roll.
Yeah, so listen, what I will say is tune in tomorrow. There's going to be a big announcement about her legal representation. There'll be a virtual press conference happening. Thursday, Black Lives Matter Global Instagram Live. You will hear directly from Mikayla's mother.
Give me the info, and I'll post it and all of that.
Yeah, it'll be on my social media platforms. Follow Violence in Boston, Monica Cannon Grant. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Snapchat. The Snapchat and TikTok is my kids running that, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how to operate either one of those.
I knew that automatically. I'm like, Monica's not on Snapchat.
But yes, we're going to post all of this information. I've been trying to go live to keep people updated while simultaneously running Violence in Boston, doing food pantry, and paying for hotel rooms and all kind of stuff. But trying to be consistent and making sure that people are well informed. My silence has been because of her legal representation that I'm super excited about. When you don't believe in yourself and don't think you can do something, and then you get somebody the representation that they deserve, it feels amazing that this family is going to, I believe, eventually get the justice that they deserve and the answers that they deserve. So all of that will happen by Friday. You'll be calling me to do another interview.
Yeah. That's automatic, Monica. I got the number, and then shout out to Thaddeus.
Yes, shout out to Thaddeus, who also was helping us with this family behind the scenes. Thaddeus moves in silence. I love him.
So.
He texts me in spite of him going through his own personal stuff with his family, just to check in to see how he could help. And I am super grateful for him. The one person who, no matter how much I catch in the street, he'd be like, "You crazy, but you do the work." And so I can't deny you. And I appreciate him.
One of the realest brothers out there. Monica, thank you for coming in. Again, the platform is here. Before Monica goes, just if you need the information and to know where to go on Friday, take a screenshot of this. And also, if you want to contact Monica, please be sure to email her at violenceinboston@gmail.com.
Jimmy.
Yes.
I cannot accept any more friends. I don't want nobody to be like, "Oh, she acting funny. She won't accept my friend request." I'm on 5,000 at Facebook, and I have 350 requests. I cannot accept them, but if you follow me, you should be able to see all of the stuff that I post. Just want to say that out loud.
Yep. Trust me, I am with you. Monica, thank you. And we will talk soon. Folks, stay tuned. I just need to share a couple more announcements. Monica, I'll be in touch. Godspeed on Friday. You stay protected and covered. Remember your self-care, and take care of yourself, Denise.
Bye, Jimmy.
All right. Peace.
So, in summary, big things happening this week. Tomorrow around 1 or 1:30, we're going to have a virtual announcement from legal representation for Calvina Strothers, who is Mikayla Miller's mom, which is fantastic. Monica Cannon Grant has a lot of faith in this attorney. Therefore, I have a lot of faith in this attorney. Then also, we have the march on Friday. There's a Black Lives Matter Instagram where her mother is going to speak this week. So, big week for Mikayla Miller. And I will be right there at each point. And I will be bringing that to the channel as well. So, you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.